Hello everybody, it's Chrissy from Chrissy's Beautiful Life and welcome to my second layout for the ABC Scrappy Challenge for the letter A, which is alphas. I want to start before I do any more, just saying thank you for all of your love and support for this series. I am blown away by just everyone's response to it. So honestly, the most deep felt, heartfelt thank you for everyone for participating in any way, watching, being in the Facebook group, playing along, everything. I just don't even know how to explain to you how overwhelmingly amazing it's been for the last couple days, seeing everyone's response. So yes, I really wanted to get that out there so you knew that I saw it. I kind of got flooded with stuff, and so I haven't had a chance to respond to everyone if there was questions or not. So I'm very sorry if I missed anybody, but just thank you. Okay, today's lesson or layout is going to be how to work in your alphas when you've had them. There are multiple packs, so different colors in the font. This is something I struggle with immensely, is having thickers that have different colors mixed in with them, and then I try to tend to group them together within the colors, and then once those colors are used up and I can't make any more words, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do now. So I am going to show you how to do this. This was something that in the Facebook group was mentioned about how a lot of people do it, so this is not a new technique. None of these techniques are new. It's just kind of reminding you, refreshing your memory on how to use it. So I'm going to come up with a title and using these 3 packages of thickers, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to help highlight them and blend the rest of them in. So these 3 packages can blend together. I might not use this one. I have to look and see how many words I can make out of this one, because I still see this one being usable. But these 3 I have used multiple times to the best of their abilities, and I'm kind of ready to give them up. So I'm going to get you put on fast forward, and we're going to see what I can do.
Okay, so let's start this off. My first thing is I have to be able to spell out a word or a couple words within these alphas. So I start and I have an idea in my head. My daughter with Barrett has said a few kind of really cute things to him or at him. And one of the things she did just over kind of fall time was she would lean down into his face or like pat his little head and be like, "Hi, little Barrett." And it was so cute because she would do it in her sweet little tone. And I absolutely love that. And I've had it on my phone to document her saying that for quite a while. And so having that idea in my head, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can spell this out. Hi, little Barrett. And I am able to do so after doing some Frankensteining or manipulating of my alphas. Now, of course, this would be a super simple tip for you, just to use alphas in general and nothing new again. You just simply do what you can. B's make fabulous E's, and you can make T's with an L, like you flip the L and then you just cut a piece from another part of a thicker that you haven't, alpha that you haven't used, that's got a straight line, and it can make another T. Super easy. There's multiple things you can do. You can make an L out of a B, basically anything that has that bottom bracket there. So lots of different options. So I do have to do that for a few of the letters, but I am able to do it. So the rest of it I'm going to pull off. And I was able to spell out what I wanted to with just 2 of the packs of thickers. So I am going to take one away and keep it to see what else I can do with it down the road. But the rest of them, so I ended up using 2. So one's a little bit larger than the other. And you can see I spelled out the word Hi, Little Barrett, and the rest of them are now on these 2 pieces. And I'm going to start by using some gesso. Now, I decided to use gesso because in my mind, and this was a trial and error, there are multiple different ways to do this. I know if you have like alcohol inks or other forms of mixed media, there's probably an easier way to go about it. I personally like the look of like acrylic paint on chipboard alphas, which is what I'm using, is chipboard alphas. And so you can see I gessoed it first. So I was protecting the alpha because it is just cardboard underneath that, the little bit of, the coating that you see as the pattern. It's just cardboard. So I did gesso it. I then painted them twice. And then, so you can see they're pink. They're pink because that's the color I had of acrylic paint. And remember, I'm in the middle of a spending freeze, so I'm trying to use what I have on hand. But I wasn't planning on doing pink because this layout is about Barrett, and I knew that. However, I didn't mind the idea of having some pink show through because this is supposed to be a layout that's about Nora's title for Barrett. So it can have a touch of pink with all of that. So I went ahead, and it took me days to get the right color. I sprayed it a bunch of times. Finally, it did. I had to let everything dry. I then lined them all up and glued it all down. And then as I did that, I left room for my actual title of Hi Little Barrett. So do you see how it's kind of like it's made its own pattern paper? And that is really my tip for you, is to use these alphas, paint them all one color of any form and any way you want to do it in order to get them the same color. But then create a fun design, and it doesn't have to just be a line like I did. You could do it into a heart, you could do it into a star. There's so many different things you could do with it. I personally wanted it to look like that so that my title could nestle in and kind of be like it was meant to be there. And so the title sticks out because it's not the same color as the rest of the alphas. And I love it. I'm so proud of the way this turned out. And it's not something I do a ton. It's not a new technique by any measure, but sometimes I forget. And I'm sure you do as well, to look at your products and think about how you can actually use them to get them used up. A lot of people in the Facebook group that I started have said that when they get down to the bottom of their thickers, they just start using them as like a different type of like fun foam. So it gives it texture, so you can like put your photos up and have dimension and stuff like that for a foam and a layering technique there. And I never even thought of that. So what a great idea. Like all these amazing ideas that came through. So if you are interested, absolutely no pressure, but if you are interested, there is a Facebook group that I started that is very low key, and you're welcome to share as much or as little as you want, but it's a neat place to be, to get some really cool tips and techniques and ideas that maybe you haven't thought of, and even inspiration help and title help. There was one where Rona asked for some ideas for a title, and a bunch of us gave a bunch of ideas. She picked one and created a layout, and her layout is so amazing that a bunch of us are thinking about scraplifting it. So definitely hop on over there if that's something that you're into, and you can get even more tips and tricks and techniques than even what I can come up with. So I really hope and that was my whole plan and hope for this series, is that we would be a fun community that we already are in different groups. I'm not trying to take away from any other group, but just that you can focus in on whatever the challenge is for that 2-week period, and we could just talk about it and have fun and share that inspiration for those 2 weeks and then move on to the next one. So yes, and that's just kind of what this one's about. So I am really excited with that. You can see that the photo is not of Nora. I, again, am trying to use what I have, and that includes my photos. I have a ton of photos that are printed that I have not scrapped yet, and instead of using and ordering new ones, I decided to go ahead and just use what I had on hand. So this is a cute photo of just me and Barrett, and I'm going to just use it, and there will be journaling about why the title is what it is, and I'm just going to let it be. I finished everything off with just some cut files in a pattern paper that have the teal and navy together, so that color is repeating, with a few embellishments, and that's all this layout needs. So I hope you'll give this idea a try about painting your thickers or chipboard, depending on what you have, and creating a fun design with it. I cannot wait to see what you come up with, and I hope you will share. You can use my hashtag ABC Scrappy Challenge in Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And like I said, the link for the Facebook group will be down below if you are interested. And you can always check out my layout in more detail on Instagram as well. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Here's a look at my finished layout. I have one more layout to share with you too next week. Bye.